Good morning to all of you all. Welcome to that of this short seminar, okay, which essentially is done on the web. Obviously itself, most of you are very familiar with Zoom. My name is Dr. Samuel Lee, and essentially today the topic is on digital transformation 4.0. Why, okay, it's important to you and also your particular business. Right, perhaps I can try to break the ice a little bit by sharing who I am. Right, my name is Dr. Samuel, just call me Sam for short. I'm an associate professor and also that of the MBA director for University of Roehampton here at the Aventis School of Management. Essentially, okay, I am actually covering that of master's program together with that of the graduate diploma in that of digital transformation and innovation. I have more than 30 years in that of training and consulting experience and serve as a lead consultant for enterprise, okay, training and implementation for Digital Skill Accelerator. Many of you all here probably have heard of Skills Future. Well, I'm actually part of Skills Future under that of SUSS, and essentially, okay, I'll run, okay, various types of digital transformation programs. WSQ is the other word that's used, that's workforce qualification, and this is where I actually developed the framework for industries and sector many of you all probably see right now online. My job, okay, is to help SMEs and organizations to transform their businesses to become much more, okay, digitally ready with this particular new economy. To date, I've helped about 500 companies out there using government grants, okay, which is something I'm also specializing in. But you find that more than 500 companies in Singapore across Asia have actually been digitally transformed in terms of strategy. Now, perhaps you have questions relating to my topic area and perhaps how your companies can transform. Please leave your questions so later. You can either raise your hand or perhaps, okay, you can be able to ask me via that of the chat. Essentially, okay, I'm an academic by nature, so I cover the academic component and the practical component, including digital skills training, digital transformation blueprint, roadmap, and also technology implementation. Sounds like very difficult buzzing word, but actually it's very simple. It's more strategic in nature and vital for all organizations to develop. So some of you here probably may want to ask me, what exactly is digital transformation? It's a buzzword that a lot of people are very confused about, okay, today. And I'd like to be able to try and mystify, okay, demystify this particular myth that digital transformation is only for technicians, only for people itself with high, okay, altitude in that of digitalization. Not true. So some of you may say, is digitalization about technology? Is it about communication? Is it about data? Is it about IoT or Internet of Things? Is it about that of automation? Is it about AI? It's more than that. It very simply put, let me explain this in that simple context. Digital transformation, or refers to DX for short, that is the short form that people use itself when people talk about digital transformation. It's a business concept. Every business, whether you are brick and mortar business, whether you are in F&B, whether you are in banking, whether you are in retail, whether you are in oil and gas, need to be able to transform their business, and it's about change. It's about the necessity to transform a business or develop, okay, changes in the organization. More of the same cannot be, okay, the in thing today. The change is the new constant. So essentially, every business today must reimagine themselves to become a software company. In other words, if you're running that of a restaurant, you must think that you are no longer just serving food, but also, okay, serving that of people itself and experience in terms of the software. This is what, okay, digital transformation is all about. I know some of you all here may say, how can I, okay, be an F&B outlet itself and yet, okay, be a digital company or software company? Just this morning, I was listening to Channel News Asia, and they were talking about, okay, these particular directors of a company called Birds of a Feather, which is actually a restaurant chain here in Singapore. They are suffering because of this COVID-19 issue and of course the circuit breaker. But okay, they have now tried to transform their business to go online, to provide deliveries to people itself, because that's the only way to go. This is what I mean, okay, in terms of software. To explain what I'm trying to say, let me go, okay, to that of the CEO of Microsoft. He stated, okay, this fact that every company is a software company. No doubt you may be having, okay, physical product, physical services, but you need to start to think and operate like a digital company. And that's what, okay, this topic area is all about. How do you transform a bank, okay, that is serving people itself in that of a retail banking platform into that of a digital platform? How do you convert a hotel from that of a particular place of accommodation to that of a digital platform? how do you convert an F&B outlet? And this is what, okay, this course essentially itself will explain to you much about, which I'll explain to you all later. Now, essentially, okay, you may say, that sounds very difficult, right? If you are an owner of a company, if you are a CEO of a firm, how do you develop this transformation? It very simply takes place in that of three arenas. This is changes that involve in people. That means people need to change their overall attitude, their understanding and training. In terms of data, how we make use of information itself to be able to try and understand our customers and understand the experience, and also the process involved in how things are done. And I'll give you two examples of case studies later of how companies have transformed themselves over this period of time. Right? Essentially, the importance of going digital is very simply based on three P's. Right? As now I mentioned the word data, I converted the data into product. Every company should not look at the physical products that they have, but also in terms of how exactly softwares can complement the organization. So when we talk about data, it's about information. It's about information about your customers and the experience itself they have. When did they buy the products? Why do they buy it? What exactly are some of the what they call quantities itself they purchase? What exactly is the timing, okay, they purchase? All those things, okay, are normally via dashboards. You can be able to find out what percentage of products itself sell well, what percentage does not. All those things, okay, are that of product that can be done by digitalization. Next is that of people. There's no point getting softwares involved in a company if your people are not well trained in terms of, for example, an EHR system, a ERP system, a SAP system. I know I sound, okay, like a broken record. You have heard of these particular terms before, but you do not know what it stands for. I'll be more than willing to explain this later today of Q&A. But okay, the time moment is that there are many softwares out there that can help companies to digitalize their operation. But softwares have no value if the hardware involved, which is the people, okay, cannot be able to use this and use this well. And obviously, you need to improve your processes. At the end of the day, DX, which is digital transformation, tries to improve the experience of CX, which is that of customer experience. In other words, okay, you find that the customer, at the end of the day, the experience that they get with your firm is the most important value of digital transformation. As explained in this next slide. Right? Some of you all may say, how do you know you've arrived in digital transformation? I spend money and effort itself to be able to transform my company. How do you know it has worked? Well, is your company, okay, digitally ready? When an organization solution provided by the company improves customer value, at the same time, engagement experience. Today, okay, we do not need to go to a bank anymore, but instead, okay, we bank via that of ATM or bank via that of a digital banking system on that of internet. That is an experience itself that makes the customer, okay, better, okay, in terms of time and also that of experience. At the same time itself, it adds value because it gives the customer more time to do other things. So the point I'm trying to put across is that banks have managed to understand, okay, digital solutions well. So if your business has not understood it, you basically have not improved the CX experience. Let me move on a bit further. Please understand, okay, that digital transformation or basically change involved in organization, it's not something, okay, that of a destination. You don't just, okay, apply for a software or implement a particular, okay, new process and expect, okay, the company itself to be transformed. It is basically a journey. It's a constant change. I mentioned this course, okay, it's called Digital Transformation 4.0. When you come for the course, then you understand what 4.0 stands for. Essentially, we have gone through, okay, that of 1.0, a 2.0, and a 3.0 of change. But today, we are now in the realm of 4.0. It's just like, okay, that of, we started with that of 2G, 3G, and right now 4G, and now we are talking about 5G, okay, happening here in Singapore with all the telcos. So digital transformation is not a journey, sorry, it's not a destination, but a journey of constant transformation and also that of change. This is what, okay, I want to try to explain. So it's not something that you can just do one day and just, okay, expect, okay, that of results itself immediately. It's a constant change and a metamorphosis as far as any organization is concerned. Right, to give you an example, just a few days ago, I was doing my regular jobs at that of the Botanic Garden. And after that, okay, I went on to a prata shop nearby, Mr. Prata. Right, and this prata man was mentioning that today, okay, we have been digitally transformed. And I was wondering what he was talking about. He says, okay, today, okay, the prata shop can be able to use PayLah, can be able to use Nets, can be able to use PayNow. And of course, you can even use cash, which this machine will absorb in order to be able to give you change itself at the end of the day, and no, okay, manpower itself is required for this aspect. Well, this is an example, but they are only at DX, okay, 1.0. Many companies, especially retail organizations, think that just because they have this digitalization process of offering Grab, offering that of Food Panda, and also that of Pay Now, and also PayLah facility, they are already going cashless, they are already in digitalization. That's only the first step. The next step, okay, they need to move on, is to improve productivity through the use of that of a smart system. Do you use CRM softwares? Do you understand, okay, what is ERP and SAP and how to use it in organization? Do you practice any form of social media marketing? Do you do digital chatbot and also that of a chatbot system? All these, okay, are that of DX number 2. Then of course, okay, there's one step further, which is essentially going international and global. Is your organization just very Singaporean? Or, okay, you look at the global platform. Are you in Alibaba? Are you a particular, okay, what I call organization like Grab that has actually expanded the operations itself, not just in Singapore, but across Asia? Or are you perhaps, okay, even a multi-global mega organization itself like Amazon? So this is where DX 3.0 itself is concerned. There's right now one more step, which is that of DX 4.0. You will learn this, okay, when you come for the course itself of mine. So some of you all here may be asking this question, right? That is, yes, I understand digital transformation now is about change, it's about digitalization. But of course, it involves a lot of costs. It takes a lot of time, a lot of manpower. I beg to differ, okay, I've done, okay, that of digitalization and also DT or digital transformation for more, okay, than that of 500 companies. Using that of government grants and funding, right, you find that here in Singapore, it's very easy for organizations itself to be able to develop themselves. What is needed, okay, is a blueprint, a roadmap of how exactly you want to transform, and you implement it, okay, from that of top to bottom. It requires a change of this, the mindset of the leaders and also the people in the organization in order, okay, for costs, okay, to come down. At the same time itself, the timing, okay, is almost instantaneous if you're willing, okay, to actually change your mindset. Right, to explain this, okay, let me, okay, perhaps, okay, come to that of COVID-19 and the coronavirus that we have right now. Right, the word that is involved in digital transformation is about disruption. You find that many companies today have been disrupted. The previous brick and mortar company that we have today no longer can exist the way it is. The so-called workspace, okay, or shared working environment can also no longer work today. When economies itself, okay, eventually reopen, and of course our Prime Minister mentioned yesterday that there is a possibility to reopen, but slowly, many businesses may still, okay, remain shut as they struggle in this new environment. We're going to go into a new normal. The new normal, okay, basically means that the work as usual, the thing of the past is no longer relevant today. The global economy itself will actually undergo a metamorphosis or a particular change. When the economy opens, you find, okay, that many organizations will no longer be the way they are. You need to be able to transform the way you do business, and essentially itself, if you do not, okay, you probably die a natural death, or probably you'll be shut down, okay, almost forever. As I mentioned earlier, okay, this is known as a digital disruptor. COVID-19, okay, essentially itself is a pandemic, okay, and because of social distancing, so and so forth, you find that many companies need to be able to transform. If not, they will perish from the industry. Whether, okay, as I mentioned, you are, okay, in that of oil and gas or in chemical, whether you're in manufacturing or in retail, whether in hotel or hospitals, whether you're in medical or for the matter itself, okay, that of banking. Every industry today has to transform to fit, okay, the economies of today, and jobs will also be transformed. So your job may no longer be relevant today because, okay, you find that essentially the environment has disrupted your business. The virus has disrupted businesses by posing challenges, okay, to the employees and workers to operate in a different particular manner and to adopt digital transformation and technology. Right, to give you some simple examples of this, right, many of you here, okay, probably have known many of these logos you see around. Let's explain, okay, the transformation in their progress. Right, let's start with the first one. Right, perhaps just to ask by their chat group, anybody know where Food Panda comes from? Anybody know where Food Panda comes from? Right, I just go to the chat and see whether anybody answered that. Well, okay, none of you all know, okay, but perhaps I'll just share. This is a German company that started, okay, with that of as a startup company, and today is worth, okay, that of more than $5 billion worldwide. Right? How they managed to transform themselves is that they started as a restaurant, okay, basically offering that of gourmet, okay, food and fine dining services. But that was not, okay, the reach itself they were looking for. They decided to go into the delivery business and essentially did a very good job. Here in Singapore, we also have Foodpanda, okay, which is competing with Grab. And they have also transformed themselves because of what Grab has done and done a very good job in terms of delivery. Today, they even deliver, okay, that of household products and also that of groceries to your home. So that's an idea, okay, that is actually available because they've created an ecosystem for themselves in terms, okay, of transformation. All these terms of what ecosystem is and everything else, we explain, okay, when you come for the classes, okay, that we hold. Next is that of Circle Life. To many of you all here, a telco is a telco. You go to Singtel, you go to M1, you go to that of StarHub. And those are the three major telcos we have in Singapore. Comes along a startup company called that of Circle Life that wants to transform the way we do that of a telco business, everything itself completely online. Today, I've switched over from that of my StarHub line, paying that of $150 a month, okay, in terms of a particular contract, to a no contract system itself that is available in that of Circle Life for $20 a month, right? And essentially, I'm still using and getting the same data and also the call time that I want. This is another example of another transform organization. I'll come to DBS and Grab later, but let me go to Razer. Many of you all here who are gamers, you will be very familiar with this company of Razer because they are worldwide and start up as a Singaporean company. But if you look at Razer, they've also transformed their business recently. If you read their papers, they are now going into that of dealing with masks and producing masks itself in less than that of 24 days, transforming the production plant in Singapore from dealing with that of keyboards, okay, and that of sound systems for that of gaming into that of producing of masks. This is another example of transformation of how exactly the disruption has affected a business and they are willing to be agile enough itself to transform. And of course, we have Faith, right? Maybe I'll ask another question. How many of you all here know what was the previous name of Faith? Anybody know what was the previous company called? In fact, it's still called this in America, but in Singapore, we transformed the company into something else. I just go to the chat to check whether anybody knows.
Groupon.
Excellent, right, Groupon, thank you very much. Right, you find, okay, that Groupon, which is existing in America today, is a company that asks you to cut out, okay, that of regular coupons and go to their supermarkets, go to outlets itself to get discount. This is very old-fashioned and it's very basically outdated. Today, okay, using Faith, you can be able to deliver products to your house, use a QR code or use a particular camera, and from there, pay the items itself involved. It keeps you in the fold because of loyalty system itself they have. And this was, okay, developed and invented by one of my ex-students who happened to be a CEO of an organization I'm very proud of, just like another one itself by the name of Shopback. But let me come to these two companies out there, which has transformed and metamorphosized the way we do banking and the way we do that of transportation and delivery, okay, which is of course our own proud organizations here in Singapore who have transformed, and you as an organization or that are working for an organization can also help you transform your companies. Let's start with DBS. What you find, okay, that DBS used to be known as Asia's safest bank. Yes, there used to be a safe bank and there are still a safe bank right now, but okay, it's no longer safety that creates, okay, customer value. Instead of that, okay, the metrics of the organization or what people call the balance scorecard today has changed in terms of management processes. In the past, okay, just that of 5 years ago, you find, okay, that the matrix, okay, or KPI or key performance indicator for that of DBS was 50%, okay, in terms of shareholders, customers, and also the employees to try, okay, and ensure sustainable growth at the same time to position DBS as a bank of choice. In other words, being a safe bank, whether it's DBS or POSB. However, you find, okay, that essentially itself, 50% was on strategic priorities, how we move to become a geographical bank, how we move in terms of society and to be an enabler. Today, okay, you find that the KPIs have changed dramatically. Instead of 50% focus, okay, in terms of shareholders and customer, now 40% is based on the traditional KPI. But now look at this. 20% is based on making, banking joyful. What does that mean? As I mentioned earlier, DX or digital transformation is about, that of improving CX. CX is customer experience. How, basically that of DBS try to drive digitally in terms of acquiring, transacting, and also that of engaging customer. Most important, for you to be able to have joyful customers and employees itself by engaging on customer journey. There's a very important word in that of digital transformation, and that is customer experience. At the end of the day, the customer experience with you online, the level itself, that you actually take in order to get a transaction done. Look at one example. I'm sure many of you all here know what we call PayLah. Right? My mom, do not know how to use PayLah, and I essentially itself taught her how to use it. Today, she gives e-ang pao, to my nephew and nieces whenever they have birthdays, via, that of PayNow. PayLah. Right? Essentially, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's such a Singaporean name, that is a PayLah, which is a Singaporean accent, but yet, it's a joyful experience to be able to use it when you see the whoosh, of that, what they call envelope that is moving across and money itself moving across from that of one person to another. It's a user-free experience, user-friendly experience. At the same time, it captures, that of digitalization itself very well. It's almost instantaneous. At the same time, a very joyful experience. That's why today, the mantra and motto itself, of DBS has changed. In the past, I was helping DBSX, and essentially DBSX is their transformation arm in that of Fusiopolis. When we look at this, there are some transformation that's taken place. They started, the front end, they also started at the back end. When we look at the digital transformation of DBS, we have DBS Digibanking, which has been voted as the best digibank in the world, whether it is POSB or DBS. At the same, as you can see over here, world's best digibanking. Right? Tally, which did not take off very well, but actually was a good experiment. iWell, which is part of iTreasure. Right? We have, that of Treasury. We have that of digital onboarding, business class, and also POSB Smart Buddy. All these are the front line, which all of us see in terms of product to make things, more, easier and faster for us to do transaction. There's one keyword involved in DX, which all of you here need to understand. It's about innovation. It's about ideas that of consultants and your own organization develop to help you change. Part of the course involves you developing a lean canvas to be able to come up with ideas that can be able to try and be low cost, at the same time itself, come up with solutions itself that will last a very long time, that serves customer needs. At the back end, from virtual assistant, I'm sure many of you all here, have been to DBS website and essentially, tried to do transaction there. Just last month, end of last month, I received my bank statement via that of e-statement, and essentially it told me that I had, to pay for that of banking charges for my credit card and also my cash line. I wasn't, willing to pay for it because I've been a customer for DBS for the longest time. So what did I do? I went, to their Digiboard, and essentially itself said, I'm not willing to pay, for my particular, my particular charges, for that of DBS cash line and credit card. I expect a waiver. Guess what? Beep, 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 3 dots later, right? And then 2 seconds later, approve. That's as simple as that. That's what I mean by customer experience, and this is a virtual, assistant. You may say it's very costly to do, but let me just share with you, this particular project was done using 100% of government funding. And I can share with you, more about this via email if you're interested to find out about funding regime. All this is about architecturing or re-architecturing, the back end, from HR analytics, to that of even ATM. You'd be surprised. If you go to DBSX, there's a huge 66-inch screen itself in front that can be able to tell on the screen how many people are visiting that of the ATMs out there and where the concentrations are. Why do that? It is an analysis, of the user friendliness of these ATMs. At the same time, I can be able to find out where I need to put more ATMs and where, ATMs itself are no longer needed. And this is essentially another digital transformation, right? So the goal, of DBS, is to be able to be a digibank by 2025. Well, guess what? They are going to essentially become one by 2021 next year, because many of these things that we already are talking about is essentially already being done. That's why today the motto of the organization is no longer DBS, Asia's safest bank. Instead, I want you to live more. I want you to live more, as in I want you to enjoy your life. Go and climb the Himalayas if you want to. Go and enjoy your life whenever, okay, that of COVID-19 is no longer that of around at the same time itself. Go for travels. Right? At the same time, you find that we can be able to do anything we want, but at the end of the day, you no longer need to go to the bank because you need to bank less. Live more, bank less. And this is, okay, the mantra they actually work on, which is the new motto of DBS Bank. Let me give you another case study example, okay, which is another, okay, unicorn that we have here in Singapore. This organization today is worth $16 billion, backed by Temasek Holding, and is highly sought after organization in the whole of Asia. How did they start? They started with almost nothing. They are not a taxi company, but they decided, okay, to create a future where they try to grab almost every business itself out there. Let me show you how, based on their particular ecosystem of transformation. As all of you are aware, okay, you find that Grab wants to make all of us live life seamlessly with that of one mobile app. They started in the transport business to compete with taxis, okay, of ComfortDelGro and also that of CityCab. They essentially itself came up with the app, which is of course, okay, that of Grab, which obviously itself was so user-friendly and easy to understand. In just 3 simple steps. Step 1, press where you want to go. Step 2 itself, press, okay, essentially itself, the particular type, okay, of what we call vehicle that you want. And step 3, pay. And voila, right, you find, okay, that ping ping, okay, and essentially itself, a Grab will be coming to your doorsteps itself. This particular user-friendliness caught the attention of Singaporeans and the whole of Asia market, from that of Indonesia to Malaysia to that of Thailand. And obviously, they did not stop there. Because of the ecosystem they have created in terms of data, that's database of people, in terms, okay, of the particular technology they have, in terms, okay, of their particular real-time, okay, technology, in terms of the maps of the world and the maps of the countries they're in. They decided to go into delivery business or food business. And of course, okay, deliver also items itself to your house today, since right now, most of you here are in stay-home mode. Right? Of course, everything of this is based on the ecosystem of an e-wallet. You find, okay, essentially itself, because you need to actually pay for your Grab, you put money itself into your Grab wallet, you need to pay for your food, you need to pay for your delivery. This particular system today has actually, okay, evolved so much so that, let me just share with you, they are very soon going to be, okay, that of, don't mind me using this term, an official loan shark here in Singapore, okay, and essentially offer even financial services. So instead of you giving money to Grab, Grab is willing to give money to you in terms of a loan and charge interest itself, where you pay on a monthly basis till your particular interest and loan itself is paid for. This is all, okay, basically to try and improve customer experience. But at the end of the day, it's almost instantaneous that this is done. That's why, okay, people, they are slow to it. Whether you are CityCab or that of NTUC Comfort, right, have lost many particular businesses and till this very day are still suffering from these losses because of lack of digital transformation. And of course, the ecosystem makes you, okay, stay online because they have a whole loyalty system to be able to grab you along the way. This is what I share in terms of creating, okay, this particular, okay, ecosystem and umbrella in order to how to transform any organization when you come for the program and courses. All right, so all business, whether you are small or a small medium enterprise or MNC, need to develop, okay, digital leaders to drive and also that of lead, okay, digital transformation. If the top of the organization doesn't think they need to change, then I'm sorry to say your company can never change. It's time for you to choose another job, or perhaps, okay, you'll be losing that job very soon. You find, okay, that you need to review, okay, that of key system, like your customer management. How do you manage the database? What exactly do you do with them? How do you engage them? Your supply chain, right? People like Lazada is one perfect example of how they adopt that of the particular supply chain. Even though the products come from China, I get my products when I buy on Lazada in 2 days or 3 days. How do you get that done? That is through the system itself, okay, of supply chain management. Evaluate, okay, latest technology like the artificial intelligence. automation, and also how to process and optimize their processes. Right? Process need to change. Our government of Singapore has already taken the lead in terms of digital transformation. Whether you are talking about CPF, whether you are talking about IRAS, whether we are talking about HDB, everything today is using the internet itself to be able to apply and check your balances, and also to file your income tax. Why? Because it's all been transformed, and they have taken the lead. If you are not following in the lead itself, I'm sorry to say, you are going to be left behind in the dust. Right. So what are some of the digital skills that our workplace itself is needed? Many consulting work which I do, I realize that many people are not prepared because they are not digitally ready in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding, in terms of application about these new subject areas. That's why what we have taught in school, whether in your degree, whether in your master's program, or for myself, even my PhD a long time ago, is no longer relevant today. We need to improve our understanding and also that of adapt to the new normal today of digital transformation. So you will be taught courses itself like what is digital transformation in full, what is artificial intelligence and automation, what is design thinking, how do you create products that are relevant today using re-engineering. This is what design thinking is all about. How do you develop an e-business strategy? What is social media? How do you optimize social media? What is SEO, SEM? And of course, data problem solving. How do you make use of this data you have? You have so many customers with so much of information. How do you make use of it on a regular basis to be able to try and optimize your particular customers and your revenue? This will be taught during the class. Right? The simple aspect of digital transformation today is that any organization out there need to have an attitude of agility, to be flexible. That's the key word. And also to be adaptive to new skills. Lifelong learning, or in Chinese itself, since I'm also Chinese and my surname is Li, 活到老学到老, is a particular attitude that people must be adaptive to new skills, to new jobs, and also to new learning opportunity. We're all here to learn, and that's why we have this particular institute known as Lifelong Learning Center, which is in Palembang, which I often frequent because of Skills Future. It is not just about your major that you've learned in school. You also need to be able to learn skills. So whether you are a doctor, in my classes I have there are medical doctors that are actually learning what is digital transformation, because if you don't, you'll probably die a natural death. Right? Have you heard of telemedicine? Have you heard of teleconsulting? Right? All these are now today implemented. You do not need to go and see a doctor anymore. The doctor comes to you in your particular living room or home, via that of DigiMedicine and Digi consulting. So this is how you design, how you lead, how you implement digital transformation. So I am one of the lecturers for the program known as Graduate Diploma in that of Digital Transformation and Information. It's called a Graduate Diploma because it's meant for graduates, whether you are a polytechnic graduate, whether you are a university graduate, whether you're an MBA graduate. I teach the MBA courses at that of SMU, that of SUSS, and also Aventis School of Management. So this is a program that is a starter package. Right? Everything is done online. So essentially you will see me via their webinar, and you see my house behind there, which is a virtual what they call background. We have that of digital transformation 4.0, right, which is the topic which I cover. There's also a topic called digital business strategy, together with design and innovation thinking. This is where design thinking comes about. You need to be innovative to understand this aspect. And also data-driven analytics. Right? This is where you analyze data and come up with relevant solutions itself based on it. Right? On the cost, fees, and detail, I will leave it to the school to handle. Right? I mentioned I'm a specialist in grants. So you find, you also, for being here today, will enjoy a $1,200 study grant for that of the May 2020 intake, which is happening very soon, in the beginning of May. All right, before I go into any other things, can I perhaps ask for any questions you have? If you want to raise your hands, and I'll unmute you so that you can be able to ask your questions, or perhaps you can be able to ask via the chat. Please, I'm an open book. You can ask me any questions you want. I'm an academic. Questions are what I'm used to. And there are no, okay, crazy questions in this world, just questions are not asked. Any question? Yes. Somebody raised a hand. Admin, can you help unmute the person?
Hi, I have a question
Sure,
on
please ask
the
anything you know.
like the syllabus because the previous slide was a bit brief for me. Like when you say digital 4.0, I mean the syllabus, what will you be learning exactly? The know-hows or what how to do, or is it just on theory basis?
Sure, thank
Yeah.
you. In my class right now, I have people who is what they call that of in oil and gas, people who are in that of IT, people who are in the medical line, okay, and also other particular what they call professions. Right. Essentially, we try to emphasize on the practicality of the program. Right. In other words, okay, for example, for the people, I mean, the admin staff will be able to send to you a full brochure. I have a copy of the brochure in front of me right now. In digital transformation, the key learning objective is about how exactly to take advantage of the opportunity to transform your company. So the project, okay, that is involved, and by the way, there are assignment projects for every particular course, right, will require you to develop a digital, what they call transformation plan, a blueprint for the organization. So in other words, we emphasize on how the theories and concepts, okay, and models can be applied into practical reality. We are very mindful, okay, that the practical aspect is more important. On data-driven analytics, we will teach you how exactly to analyze data, how exactly to look, okay, at information out there, whether it's a financial data, whether it's that, okay, of HR data, whether it's of customer data, so on and so forth. Anything to do with database, anything to do with customer profiling, and also personas will be covered there. We also have, okay, that of digital business strategy. This is where we will find out, okay, on how to explore and learn real life case studies and how exactly to apply things like social media marketing, SEO, SEM into that of practical solution. You will come up with your own SEO plan, your own digital marketing plan, your own social media plan. That's another aim. And last but not least, design thinking. That is a very interesting topic where you essentially try to accelerate your innovation, come up with innovative new ideas for your firm. I mean, I'll give you one example. One of my students right now, okay, essentially is in oil and gas, and he's facing a major issue, and that is, okay, many of the exhibitions and conferences that he's actually attending today have been cancelled because of COVID-19, because of the coronavirus. So his project right now, okay, for that of design thinking is, okay, to come up with a virtual conference seminar program. So in other words, he's working with a software company to be able to try and develop an exhibition virtually online where people will subscribe to it. Exhibition, okay, what they call it, booths will be set up based on that aspect. And essentially people pay, okay, to come for this seminar and conference, which I think is a brilliant idea. This is only possible if you do design thinking. This is one example itself relating to it. Another one, okay, of my student is in banking. All right, she thought of this crazy idea, okay, because she is in loans, of how exactly to be able to come up, okay, with that of a loan, banking loan in 30 seconds, right? You find that people want speed, and speed is a very important process. Today, with things like, for example, okay, that of the, what they call COPPAS and also SingPass, you find that you can integrate many of this information together. So I hope I've explained, okay, this well to you. By the way, okay, you can receive the brochure later. The 6 months course, okay, involves 4 subjects: digital transformation 4.0, digital business strategy, design and innovation thinking, and data-driven analytics. Right? Those
Yes,
are the,
but
yes.
further to that, can you add on if we actually learn technical things in the two areas, data-driven analytics and the digital business strategy? In what I mean is, in the technical areas will be, do we learn the technical software to actually monitor and to derive or to get out this data? I
Right.
mean, is it just as simple as using Google Drives and Google data softwares like that to get the data? And you also mentioned SEO for the under the business strategy. So do we really learn how to actually do SEO, what to access, the technical knowledge,
Yes, it
the
will.
technical
Okay.
know-hows of how to get into search engines, and even digital marketing. What are the
Sure.
softwares to use, and how to use them? Because many of them are actually free for only 3 months. The day after, you have to pay as well.
Sure, sure. Understood. I mean, when we look at that of our package or program, right, I'm only in charge of digital transformation 4.0, right? The rest of the courses are taught by other particular lecturers and professors, right? Essentially, okay, they come from the academia and also the private sector. They essentially itself will share with you all these, what they call software and also technical details itself on how to go about doing that. So to answer your question, yes, right? In terms of digital dashboard, not only do you understand, okay, the knowledge of how to analyze the data, you also go into that of how exactly to implement a digital platform in order to actually develop these solutions. Yes, so to answer the question, yes, they do.
So I guess briefly that during the lessons and the lecture time, the lecturer will bring up certain softwares and all that where you can use, and he will do a few clicks and all that. But
Yes,
whether to step by step kind of thing, it won't be that easy. You
of
have to
course.
spend a lot of your own time to actually figure out things and go into deeper things and explore here and there yourself, right?
Totally
I
agree.
guess that
Yes,
that
totally
should be
agree.
the
That's why, I mean, so maybe to ask one question that maybe some of you are too shy to ask, right? You find that I also do that of Skills Future, and Skills Future is a almost a fully funded program, 90% funded by the government. At the same time itself, okay, you find that it's a very low cost program. Why is it okay that that's not good enough? That's not good enough because you only learn bite-sized information. You only learn very simple, basic information. Today is a preview, so obviously you can only learn the basic overarching, okay, that of strategy. But we go in depth, okay, and really, okay, deep dive into that of your topic areas, whether it's on innovation thinking, whether it's on analytics, okay, when it comes to the 6-month program. And of course, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Oh, I'm Max here.
Max, okay, Max. Right, essentially why we spend 6 months over and there's assignments involved is because we want to emphasize on the practicality, and you need to do your own hands-on work and do the practical aspect itself involved in order to understand it. No point just basically understanding the theory. You need to look at it for yourself so that, okay, you can be able to develop. Now, probably, okay, Max, you may ask me another question, or some of you may ask, what are some of the jobs, okay, that are open, okay, to you after finishing this particular course? There are, okay, people known as digital strategists, marketing, okay, digital directors, right? That of business transformation managers, digital analytics managers, right? That of startup co-owners itself and venture capitalists. There's also a very interesting job which some of my students are now becoming, and that's called CEO. Anybody like to tell me what CEO stands for? Please don't tell me Chief Executive Officer. Anybody like to tell me what CEO stands for?
I don't know, but chief e-commerce officer or
No,
something
it's
like.
known as Chief Experience Officer. Right, the idea behind is that they are there to improve the experience. DBS has one, okay, that of MediaCorp has one. Right, you find, okay, that user experience strategies, business development managers. So those are the type of jobs, okay, that are available to you. But maybe I can go to other people itself. Next, okay, other question. I one over here. Uh, I'm Thing One. Okay, the modules offered in part-time graduate diploma program. If you want to pursue selective modules only, can you do so itself upon completion? Yes, you can. All right, I think you can be able to speak, okay, to that of the what they call the admin people involved in this particular program, right, in order to be able to do that. Maybe I can just share with you right now. These are the admin people. She's also in this course. Her name, okay, is Emily. Enjoy $1,200 a course rebate, fee rebate when you join the May intake, which will start very soon. Emily Cow itself is her name, and Emily at aventisglobal.com, and this is a WhatsApp handphone number. Right, you can find out more details from her. Ivy asks, can you cite me one example of a recent digital transformation 4.0? Excellent, thank you. Thank you for the question. One perfect example, okay, of digital transformation 4.0 is that, okay, of Shopback. I do not know whether you know this company of Shopback. Maybe I can be able to go back instance. Sorry, just give me a minute. I mentioned some examples of companies like Faith, some examples like Grab. Shopback, okay, is an example of how exactly an organization today can be able to help, okay, that of a lot of SMEs, especially F&B outlets, and also that of retail and boutiques out there to be able to transform their business to become both online and offline. If you look at it carefully, okay, Shopback today gives you rebate, gives you money back every time you shop online or even offline aspect. Many retailers today are suffering, okay, because, okay, you find that you cannot go to the brick and mortar store. However, this brick and mortar store can come to you via, okay, that of positions like Shopback. I give you an example. I shop online, okay, a lot in that of places like QOO10 and also that of Lazada. Shopback, okay, today is an aggregator where essentially they have transformed the way, okay, you do business by allowing, okay, that of shopping online, okay, to be a more user-friendly experience by giving money back to you every time you shop online. So for example, when I go to a place like booking.com or QOO10, I will first and foremost go to that of Shopback, and from there, okay, flip, okay, into that of the QOO10 and buy items itself online. Instantaneously, immediately after my purchase, I will see an example, okay, of I received Shopback of $10 into my account. You can even, okay, refer people and make $5 itself every time. So this is a perfect example of a 4.0. In the past, a lot of companies always think that brick and mortar has to stay the way it is and that online is online. You can now merge both of these together to create one, right, in terms of a seamless type of strategy. So this is a perfect example, okay, relating to digital transformation 4.0. Right? Another example that I can have in my mind is in manufacturing. Many particular companies think that automation is the only way they can be able to try and show their 4.0 concept. Today, okay, many of them have actually, okay, not only, okay, transformed themselves, okay, to become that of a manufacturing firm, but at the same time, okay, they have also used automation and digitalization as an advantage, okay, to be able to try and outbeat the competitors in terms of cost and also that of user friendliness of the product. So that's another example, okay, relating to digital transformation 4.0. I can give you lots more examples in my classes. I hope that explains. Any other questions, please? Maybe I can just, okay, there are quite a few participants. If I may, I just open up to anyone that wants to ask. Right, you can ask a question. Andrew, are you available? Andrew?
Yes, I am. I'm good, Dr. Samuel.
Yes, hi. You have any questions you want to ask? Please feel free.
Not at this moment in time. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Thank you very much. Ken? Hong Tan? Sorry, Jun Hong Tan.
Hi Sam. Yeah.
Hi.
I'm good.
Any questions you have that you'd like to ask?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Okay, fine. I mean, maybe some of you all here are too shy to ask. All right, how exactly do you need to transform yourself right now with this issue of COVID-19? I mean, I'm very passionate about helping, okay, that of students and also graduates because I've been in academia for more than 30 years. I just share with you that whatever skill sets they have learned in the past, unfortunately, are no longer relevant today. You need to adopt a more agile, flexible attitude to be able to try and learn new skills and develop yourself. Whether you have interest or no interest in those areas, there is a need for an appreciation of new knowledge and how this new knowledge can affect the way you do business. Many organizations out there are employing today people are data analytics, okay, people who are digital transformists, people who are that of digital social media specialists. Why? Because, okay, those are the jobs of today. Many jobs, okay, that are of the past are no longer relevant today. For example, if you're doing administration, For example, even if you're doing HR, right, many of the jobs, okay, will no longer be relevant today because many of those HR jobs can actually be, okay, replaced by that of software. But, okay, we still need people, okay, to manage this software and understand what this software does, at the same time itself maintain the software. So a learning curve itself is required. Many of my students in my master's program are from HR background. One of the major problems for them is to unlearn, okay, what they have been taught and relearn new particular skills. And this is the attitude that many of you here should take. In a sense, okay, that if you are still doing pen and paper in terms of salary payment, in terms, okay, of trying to apply for leave and also that of claims, I'm sorry to say, you're living in the world of the past. You need to learn new skills and adopt, okay, new technologies like EHR platforms to be able to help you, okay, be more productive. Today, many, okay, HR specialists are that of strategic HR specialists, where they look at manpower requirement, talent management, okay, that of succession planning. Those are very strategic factors itself of the future. All right, I hope that answers your question. Mr. Keen Kwan, okay, would you like to ask any questions? Can I unmute you?
No, I'm good for now. Thanks.
No problem. Tay, you have any questions? Angie, do you have any questions?
No question for now.
No problem.
I have a question actually.
Sure, Mac.
I still have a question. So if I'm not sure if this is a course where it is like a deep dive kind of course where you actually deep dive into learning what SEO is and all the components of SEO, and like you do deep dive into the data analytic software like that. So is this like a deep dive kind of subject course or what? Because there are deep dive courses that takes about 3 months just on that data analytics, and there are deep dive courses that's on SEO, digital marketing, for like 6 months like that. And just focusing on one, but it seems like this one is like covering across the board for 4 areas, which is really good areas, and it's covered in 6 months.
Yes.
Or maybe like this is a very extensive one and it's also a deep dive one, so that means this 6 months is extremely intense. What is this whole thing? Yeah, is
Sure.
it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, okay, you find that essentially what we try to do is to be able to give you an overarching component in terms of digital transformation 4.0, is what I cover. And the rest of the lecturers will actually dive into that of the various topic areas, whether it's business strategy, innovation thinking, and also that of data-driven analytics. Whether it's a deep dive component, I think, okay, would be very much dependent on the time frame. Right? Obviously, many of you are working adults, right? You may not, okay, be actually experienced in that particular area. So there is a need, okay, to be able to try and balance the whole aspect. You're right. I mean, there are, okay, that of people who do social media marketing. So because of that, that is one subject by itself. In that of a graduate diploma program of 6 months, we can cover all the necessary topic areas for you to be able to explore. But after that, you may want to decide, okay, to specialize in some areas, perhaps, okay, through another graduate diploma or that of master's program. That will be entirely left to you. So to answer to your question, it will give you, okay, that of overall, okay, understanding and also that of application. But, okay, the level of dive, okay, would very much depend on you as a particular person in your job profile, right? Some organizations, okay, may not require you to be able to understand all the components. Some organizations require you to be able to just deep dive into one. So that would depend on your individual job profile. So to answer to that of Teo's question, job opportunities after graduating, as I mentioned, all right, there are jobs available like user experience strategies, like that of data analytics.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry,
Excuse
just
me.
give me a second, sorry. You find,
Oh,
okay,
no.
sorry, Angie, just give me a second.
Oh, no question. No.
At the same time, okay, positions itself like digital transformation specialist, okay, digital strategy, those are the topic areas that we are talking about, and also the jobs that are available. Right. One more question. Mr. Tan asked, in the context of Singapore, in your opinion, does digital transformation bring us the direction of vertical integration as observed in the past? Or does it lead us to a more collaborative ecosystem itself that specialize in our own area? Well, thank you. I will answer this in two simple contexts. Okay, both vertical and ecosystem are required in order for you to succeed. All right, taking the example of Grab, they have not only gone on the vertical, but at the same time itself, they also gone on the ecosystem part, in the sense that both elements are important. So when we look at vertical, you try and improve your value chain throughout your whole process. Whereas ecosystem is where you try and loop up into other things itself that are related to your business. For example, from that of e-wallet to that of financing. So to answer your question is both, right? This is what I share much when it comes to my topic area. Any last question, please?